Live from Mikocheni, Dar es Salaam, this is TBC News, our top stories. Zanzibar economic progress applauded, longs for more investments.
Move towards investment and trade.
Kuala Port solidifies its role as Tanzania excels as a critical cargo hub.
They can come and witness what is going on here.
Good evening. I am Teddy Mfaranyanga. You can also follow us live via YouTube channel TBC Online, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBC Online. President Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi has reaffirmed Zanzibar's commitment to deepening long-term cooperation with Ireland, focusing on key sectors like investment, trade, the blue economy, tourism, and social welfare. The president of Zanzibar and the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, made the assurance earlier today when he met and held talks with the ambassador of Ireland to Tanzania, Nicola Brennan, at the Zanzibar State House, where he also invited investors from Ireland to invest in Zanzibar in various development projects, emphasizing the importance of developing and preserving the island's stone town as a historical heritage and a tourist attraction.
It's very important for us now to move towards investment and trade. It's clear the world economy has changed, so we are not expecting aid anymore. We would rather work with you on investment and trade. We would like to work with you on fisheries. It is something that has not been developed, despite being an island surrounded by the ocean. But we have a very small industry, fishery industry. We would like to see that we promote that, both fishing as well as fish farming. This is something that can be done business to business.
Yes.
But the government will set, the right environment for businesses to work on this area.
On the other hand, the ambassador of Ireland to Tanzania commends Zanzibar's economic progress and vows to continue to work closely with Zanzibar on its development goals.
Have really built our relationship on the basis of our political engagement, our development cooperation, our people-to-people links, and more recently, business. And I know that's a huge priority of Your Excellency, as well as Her Excellency President Samia.
Yes.
And we heard clearly her message around enhancing the economic ties and the economic investment, foreign direct investment.
Yes.
So we're working very hard on that, Your Excellency.
President and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council of Zanzibar, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, says since his re-election, Zanzibar continues with a strict agenda focused on accountability, performance, and accelerated development, emphasizing his administration would not tolerate complacency. Dr. Mwinyi made the remarks in Zanzibar during a special interview with the Tanzania Broadcasting Corporation, insisting on prioritizing efficiency, service delivery, and strict oversight of public funds.
To a large extent, progress is being made at a good pace. As we speak, it is not only ministers, but also all leaders, including these at the lowest levels within communities. I have instructed all of them, including sheikhs, not to be part of the challenges facing citizens, but rather to be part of the solutions. We have succeeded in some extent. Challenges still exist, but overall, we have made significant progress, as we are seeing development projects reaching even the lowest levels and moving forward at a high speed.
Dr. Mwinyi adds that the government's annual budget has undergone a substantial increase, rising from 1.5 trillion to 5.1 trillion for the 2025 fiscal year, signaling an ambitious fiscal direction aimed at strengthening public services, infrastructure, and economic development.
We set priorities in two key areas. The first is revenue collection, and the second is expenditure. If there is weakness in either of these areas, challenges will arise. Therefore, while we emphasize the strengthening revenue collection, we also focused on the proper use of funds. A large portion of the budget is being directed towards development projects. About 70% goes to development, while 30% is allocated to administration and operations. So we placed a strong emphasis on both collecting revenue and ensuring proper spending.
Zanzibar's economy is currently demonstrating robust resilience, while the progress is primarily anchored by a booming tourism sector and a strategic shift towards a blue economy mode. Now moving on to the next story, Kenya's President William Ruto is expected to address the Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania on May 5th this year in what many are interpreting as a significant diplomatic gesture symbolizing cooperation and brotherhood between Tanzania and Kenya. But what procedures and rules govern a foreign head of state addressing Tanzania's parliament? My colleague Caroline Maleo speaks with former clerk of the National Assembly, Stephen Kagaigai, who begins by explaining the circumstances under which a visiting head of state may be permitted to address the Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania.
Addressing ourselves to the Constitution of the United Republic of Tanzania of the 1977, Article 62 of the Constitution explains that the President is actually part of the National Assembly, part of the Parliament of the United Republic of Tanzania. But then here we have another president of the neighboring country who is visiting us on the date which was announced by the Parliament itself. Dr. Ruto, I'm told, is coming on the 5th of May, 5th of May, yes, to address the National Assembly. So the rules say that any visitor who is not an MP visiting the Parliament, we have a rule which says that all visitors have their areas which have been set aside by the Parliament itself. So before a visitor who is not an MP, like President Ruto, because President Ruto is not a member of Parliament of the Parliament of Tanzania, then the rule says we have to set aside the rule itself to allow a visitor to sit in a place which is different from the place which has been set for the visitors.
So he won't sit up there?
So he won't sit up there because that is called the Speaker's Gallery, which is set aside for the visitors. But himself as a president of a neighboring state, and since he will be accompanying the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, who is a member of Parliament anyway, so then for that rule will be set aside to allow him to come in.
So apart from President Ruto, who will address the Parliament on 5th of May, have there been any other heads of state that have visited our Parliament before? Yeah,
previously we had, I remember two of them. One was the President of Comoro. He came in 2008. And he also had the President of Mozambique, who came and addressed the Parliament in 2015. And
can you kindly tell us now when President Ruto will come, and as you had explained that there were other heads of state that have visited our Parliament, are the members of Parliament allowed to ask questions? What actually happens when we are having a head of state at our National Assembly, at the Parliament, actually?
No, to my experience, I've never experienced that interaction of asking questions, and no. Then the Parliament will thank him for the address. Then that will be the end.
So what does this visit now mean in strengthening the diplomatic ties between Tanzania and Kenya?
Well, this entails that we are in good terms with Kenya. Otherwise, if we are not in good terms, then I'm sure he wouldn't have been allowed, first of all, to come in, but also himself wouldn't feel comfortable to come and address the Parliament. So this shows that we are in good relation with the Kenya. That's why he's willing, and he knows that we'll be comfortable with our Parliament.
Such an in-depth analysis on how our National Assembly governs and follows its rules and regulations. And now to the next story. Prime Minister Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba is expected to begin a working visit on May 2nd this year in the Iringa region, where, according to the Iringa Regional Commissioner, Harry James, the visit aims to inspect various development projects, engage with citizens, address local challenges, and issue government directives. Furthermore, the Iringa Regional Commissioner, Harry James, urges residents of the region to come out in large numbers and encourage them to present their concerns, views, and challenges related to regional development to be addressed by the top government team.
Katika ziara yake atafanya ziara katika wilaya ya Mufindi.
During his visit, he will tour Mufindi district, where he is expected to visit both Mafinga and Mufindi district councils. He will also address residents in 3 constituencies within the district: Mafinga, Mufindi South, and Mufindi North. On the 2nd, upon arrival, the Prime Minister will hold a public rally to listen to the citizens' concerns in Igowole village, located in Mufindi South constituency. We therefore call upon all residents of Igowole and the wider Mufindi South area to turn out in a large number to attend and listen to the Prime Minister.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Transport, Professor Gorgeous Kayarara, says container handling at the Kwala Dry Port has increased from 20 containers per month 9 months ago to 2,000 containers per month. He made the remarks at the facility where handling over a construction site to the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo, designated to develop another state-of-the-art dry port, insisting that the move is part of the government strategy to further develop the zone. Here's a story by Isma Bugudha, read by Caroline Maleo.
On July 31st, 2025, President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan officially inaugurated the Kwala Dry Port in the coast region, aiming to reduce transportation costs and congestion in Dar es Salaam. At that time, the port was handling 20 wagons per month, and now the government is reporting an increase of over 9,500%.
By the time she was coming, I think we used to have 60 containers, I think, in 3 months or in 1 month. But today, we are talking of thousands of containers per month. Yeah, so for those who think that it has not started, they can come and witness what is going on here. And these containers are not here stored. They are not stored. They are in a movement. You can see which are on the way to go, and immediately others comes in. But on average, I said about more than 1,000 a month from 60. I forgot whether it was 60 for 3 months or for 1 month, but I'm sure of 60 number.
As part of expanding the port's capacity, the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo has begun implementing by taking over the allocated construction site.
So all the hectares that you give us, as long as we have also give you, show that the government of Republic of Congo is ready to push for the materialization of this project.
I wanted to say finally that we will continue to work closely under your instruction, dear PS, to accompany Boston Group Limited in this project. Also, we remain committed to continue to implement our mandate per the instruction we receive from ministers. And our role will be here is to monitor the progress that Boston Group Limited will be doing during the implementation of the project.
This will mark a milestone whereby both governments will see that we are reliable partners to work with. Africa has got a lot to do. Our executive secretary was telling me, sharing with me projects, what can be done. PS was sharing with me. It's an exciting journey.
Alongside other countries, the government of Tanzania has allocated a 45-hectare area at Kwala to the Democratic Republic of Congo to strengthen trade relations and diplomatic ties between the two nations.
Ministry of Home Affairs through the Tanzania Police Force Corporation SOL, which is under the Ministry of Home Affairs, has signed an agreement with a mandatory motor vehicle inspection MVI company to implement a mandatory vehicle inspection project costing more than $116 million over a period of 20 years. Here's a story by Henry Mabumo, read by Anthony Akivaria.
Speaking after the signing of the agreement, the representative of the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Home Affairs, Separatus Velas, said that the agreement will involve construction and installation of equipment in all regions of the country designed to improve road safety, reduce accidents, and minimize vehicle damage.
The project targets rapid delivery with clear milestone: initial 10 vehicles inspection center to be completed within a short period, and full nationwide rollout within 2 years is the agreed time frame. A total of 128 inspection lands will be established across 26 regions, supported by mobile inspection units to ensure accessibility even in remote areas.
The executive director of the Tanzanian's Public-Private Partnership Center, David Kafulila, emphasized that PPP model is a central pillar for achieving Tanzania's National Development Vision 2050, arguing that the partnership allows the government to leverage private capital and technology to implement strategic projects that would otherwise be constrained by the public budget.
The role of PPP and the need for all government institutions, ministries, to make sure we don't use public funds to implement what the private can do. For three purposes: one, to make sure that we deliver projects beyond government balance sheet, and with that, it will be easy for the government to achieve our National Vision 2050, which aims to achieve $1 trillion GDP by 2050.
The Police Commander Traffic Safety Unit of Tanzania, William Mkonda, says the project will help save the lives of Tanzanians by preventing accidents and improve the quality of vehicles across the country.
With this project, we believe we'll be in the better position to have a regular check to our vehicles and to be assured of having a sustainable.
This project is fundamentally, it's all about saving lives. Yeah. So if we don't have safer vehicles on the road, that means we are going to experience a lot of casualties. And as we have seen, that majority of these accidents are caused by, vehicles not being on the right standard.
Project with premium workshop equipment, which we are going to install in the test sites. So after a long while, with all the involvement of your colleagues from the Tanzania Police Force, the assessments you have done over many years, all starting with, I believe, Dr. Kafuku.
Today marks the International Day on Ending Corporal Punishment, with stakeholders in Tanzania renewing calls to end violence against children. Globally, 1 in 4 children experience corporal punishment, while in Tanzania, reports indicate that up to 77% of children have faced some form of it. Stakeholders are now calling for urgent evidence-based reforms to promote positive discipline and protect children from violence. Here are more details. Corporal punishment continues to affect millions of children worldwide, often justified as a form of discipline both at home and in schools. In Tanzania, the situation remains critical, with reports showing that up to 77% of children experience corporal punishment, raising concern among child rights advocates. Speaking during the multi-stakeholder dialogue held to mark the day, stakeholders are now urging stronger collaboration between the government, schools, and communities to ensure children grow up in safe and supportive environments.
Corporal punishment cannot be achieved by one actor alone. It requires coherent laws and policies, effective implementation, and well-supported teachers, informed parents and caregivers, engaged religious leaders and community leaders, responsible media, and most importantly, the voices and experience of children themselves. We know that positive discipline works. It builds trust, strengthen relationship, and improve learning outcomes.
Tanzania has ratified key international and regional commitments to protect children's rights. Tanzania is also part of the Global Partnership to End Violence Against Children. Tanzania has policies and strategies that recognize the importance of child protection. And these are important gains that Tanzania has made and that we all need to celebrate.
Some of the participants emphasized the need for evidence-based reforms to guide policies and practices aimed at protecting children.
There should be a positive discipline. I do not understand why we have inherited colonial forms of punishment. Why the government continues to embrace the use of corporal punishment to students.
Students and teachers also voiced their concerns, calling for safer learning environments free from fear and intimidation.
Corporal punishment in schools really hurt us as students. There is a law that allows teachers to punish us with only 3 strokes, but many take the law into their hands and go beyond that, which end up even causing harm to us.
I agree with other stakeholders that it is possible to eliminate corporal punishments in schools because it creates fear among students and negatively affects their ability to learn.
Efforts to end corporal punishment continue as Tanzania joins the rest of the world in advocating for the protection of children's rights. The United Nations Development Programme UNDP has allocated 1 billion Tanzanian shillings to support youth-led business projects, particularly in strategic minerals, digital technologies with innovation within agricultural value chains. Here are more details.
Speaking in Dar es Salaam during the launch of the 5th cohort of the Youth Enterprise Funding Program, UNDP Deputy Representative John Rotary said the initiative aims to nurture and strengthen youth businesses in order to accelerate economic growth.
One of the challenges that is always depicted among businesses is lack of capital. So with the Funguo program, we are trying to address that challenge by making capital available, especially for startups or for early stage businesses, so that they can get to a stage where now they can access financing through banks and other forms of financing structures.
Meanwhile, some of the program's partners insist that the initiative serves as a catalyst in fast-tracking the goals of the Tanzania's Development Vision 2050.
The 5th call that we are launching now will be concentrated around 3 main sectors. One is agri-value chains, the second one is about digital innovation, and the third one is about critical minerals. These 3 sectors are key for the Vision 2050 of Tanzania, which wants to bring Tanzania as an upper middle income country, meaning that through value addition in the country and increase the trade with partners, and in particular the European Union.
Tanzania has a huge opportunity but also a huge challenge in that it's got a massive growing youth population. I think half of the population of Tanzania is below the age of 18. Every year there's a lot of young people entering the job market, and there's not formal sector jobs for all those young people. Even for graduates, you could be a smart graduate with top marks in your class. There may not be a formal sector job waiting for you.
Additionally, beneficiaries from the youth phase of the Funguo program says the funding and the training they have received have helped them to expand market opportunities and grow their businesses.
The biggest thing which I got from it's the training. That's what's really important. It's not about the money, it's about the training. So the training will be like a catalyst on how I can scale my business.
Organization for the fund, and I hope the fund will be used in increasing the scale of my production and create more job opportunities to youth. That helps to solve the problem of unemployment in our country.
Since the inception of the Funguo program, a total of 17 billion Tanzanian shilling have been distributed to support 88 youth-led business projects.
The government of Tanzania is actively implementing strategies to foster a robust and competitive economy by enhancing tax policies and laws to create a more business-friendly environment for investors and the private sector. The Deputy Minister of State President's Office, Planning and Investment, Dr. Pius Chaya, made the remarks in Arusha while opening a new branch of the People's Bank of Zanzibar PBZ aligning with the national strategy to widen the scope of financial services, particularly for tourism and businesses in the northern region.
The opening of this branch is not just an ordinary event, but a significant strategic step in PBZ's growth journey. Arusha is a rapidly growing economic hub, playing a major role in tourism, trade, mining, agriculture, as well as both domestic and foreign investment.
The management of the bank say the Bank of Zanzibar is currently executing a 5-year strategic plan 2022 to 2026, focused on expanding its footprint across mainland Tanzania and digitizing its services to foster financial inclusion.
First, we are working on drafting a law for the private sector. Second, we will develop its policy and strategy. And we also plan to revamp the Tanzania Private Sector Federation so that we have a strong national apex body capable of effectively representing investors, business people, and the private sector, especially on issues that hinder the implementation of Vision 2050.
The African continent's economy is predicted to be as large as the U.S. economy by the year 2050, calling for proper implementation of the digital trade across the continent, with maritime sector poised to play a key role in the predicted growth. Speaking to TBC News, World Bank and Africa Transport Policy Program, maritime consultant Pascal Olivier insists for Tanzania to join the table, it requires to digitize all the maritime value chain and trade logistics.
You need to digitalize all the maritime supply chain, of Tanzania, at export, at import, at transshipment, in transit of goods. And Tanzania has been trying to do it for 20 years. It has been already, as we discussed, the World Bank informed the participant that it has been part of 2 programs in Tanzania, but it was not implemented at this stage. So we are urging Tanzania to move also to the port community systems. The maritime single window will be the vessel module of the port community systems. But indeed, you need to reform, to digitalize all the process, trade logistics process, from a shipping agent, a freight forwarder, a trucker, a railway, and inland ports, inland depots, bonded warehouses, CFS station, up to the border. Nationwide. You need to have a national PCS to manage Bagamoyo, because the future of Tanzania will be also through Bagamoyo, because it's a port with 10 million TEUs. And to go to that pace of more than $1 trillion, you need to have large ports. So you need to take care about Tanga, Mtwara, the lake ports, Bagamoyo, Dar es Salaam. So you need to have a national platform to digitalize all your trade logistics.
On the other hand, the World Bank Maritime Consultant says limited political will, coupled with other challenges like inadequate IT infrastructure, high implementation costs and resistance to changing manual processes, has been major impediments to reach full operational potentials for some of the African ports.
At the Ministry of Transport level, it is at cabinet, because it means that we need to engage major reform. We need to change the laws and regulation of each agency, that where in the laws of the Custom Act, for example, it is mentioned that, I need a stamp. I need a physical stamp. I need a physical signature. I need to provide a hard copy. And with the maritime single window, we're going to remove all that, because everything's going to be digital. So we don't want to have any custom officer or any immigration officer say, I want a hard copy. I want to sign this document. You see what I understand? No. So the only person or the only organization in a country at the state level, who can make it happen, it's only cabinet. It's a decision from the prime minister or the president to decide to engage this reform. And if we don't have the support from cabinet, it will never be implemented. So we are here to advocate with customs authority, maritime authorities, and port authority how to address the political will.
And before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now have a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. And now, before we conclude the news bulletin for tonight, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
This is 24 hours weather forecast from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. For tonight, we expect future particular conditions, thunder shower over a few areas over the Lake Victoria Basin in the western part. Northern Eastern Highland, central part, northern coast, including Morogoro region, expect future rain shower over a few areas. And the rest part of our country expect future particular condition. For tomorrow, average wind speed expected over the most part of our country. And the strongest rainfall signal over the Lake Victoria Basin extending to northern coast. TMA issue an advisory expecting heavy precipitation times over Lake Victoria Basin, except Shinyanga regions. For tomorrow, expect future cloudy conditions, thunder shower over a few areas and sun interval over the Lake Victoria Basin and northern coast, including northern part of Morogoro region. Northern Eastern Highlands and western part expect future particular conditions, thunder shower over a few areas and sun periods. The rest part of our country expect future particular conditions, rain shower over a few areas and sun periods. Let's have a look for the 4 days weather forecast for some part of our country, starting from the day after tomorrow. Dar es Salaam expect future thunder shower over a few areas and rain shower. Dodoma expect future light rain shower together with sun periods. Mbeya expect future light rain shower together with particular condition. Mwanza expect future thunder shower over a few areas and sun period. Kilimanjaro expect future thunder shower together with rain shower. Morogoro expect future thunder shower together with rain shower. Arusha expect future thunder shower together with rain showers. We thank you for watching us and have a good time.
And that marks the end of our news bulletin for tonight. Do not miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Teddy Mfaranyanga. Have a lovely night.
Unaangalia TBC1, ukweli na uhakika.
Sauti ya mtoto mara nyingine haisikiki kwa kelele, bali hujificha kwenye ukimya. Ni ukimya unaobeba hofu, maswali na wakati mwingine maumivu yasiyoonekana. Siku ya kimataifa ya kukomesha adhabu ya viboko kwa watoto inaadhimishwa kila mwaka tarehe 30 Aprili, na ujumbe wake ni mmoja: